This is Darren Sabedra again, Bay Area News Group, Mercury News, East Bay Times, here with Nathan Canilao, Christian Babcock, Mike Lefkow, and special guest Joseph Dykes, who we sent off last week with a nice congratulations for moving on to cover the Warriors. He's back because he can't get enough of high school football, so he'll be chiming in shortly about week 2. But we wrapped up week 1, obviously, last weekend. And it was quite a week in the Bay Area. Christian Babcock was at one of the games of the weekend. Christian, we thought it was going to be 40-0. Folsom or we didn't think. A computer thought it was going to be 40-0. Nathan, I think, thought it was even going to be worse since he was calling for a running clock in the third quarter. Christian, real quickly, what did Sarah do to stay in that game?
Yeah, they scored. I mean, that's what you have to do against Folsom. I think they showed an offense that had some explosiveness that we didn't always see last year. And it was kind of interesting how they did it. They have a new quarterback, so there was a little more through the air than we'd see out of them last year. But a lot of it was on the ground. You know, their rushing attack is kind of what they lean on a lot, kind of like De La Salle, which we'll talk about in a minute. But honestly, they just moved the ball consistently different ways. They were able to deal with some bad field position and some weird special team stuff that happened. So based on week 1, this is a Sarah team that can score, which, you know, combined with what they've done defensively historically, could be pretty formidable. But we'll see what they do against De La Salle this week.
We will. From what I saw, I was watching it on the stream from down in Bakersfield. Got to see Ryder Lyons. He took a lot of hits in that game, but to his credit, like he did 2 years ago at Sarah, when I saw it there from the sideline, he is as tough as they come and kept battling back and obviously won the game. Nathan, you were at in Concord the night before, so this is going to be Sarah's opponent this week, De La Salle. Last time De La Salle went to Sarah, which was 2 years ago, Sarah won 28-0 in a score that was a little misleading. I think it was 0-0 from what I remember for the longest time. So you got to see De La against a really good team from Florida. What were your impressions of the Spartans?
Yeah, I think one, the score isn't indicative of what De La Salle really did. They won 10-6 over Lakeland, who is one of the more athletic teams in the country. They couldn't really move the ball early on. I noted that they had a 25-play, almost 92-yard drive. But look, they figured it out. There's a moment where it looked like they were going to lose that game, and usually they could just kind of wear you down. They weren't able to do that against Lakeland, but when it mattered most, Deuce Jones-Drew carried them to the win. I think he's going to be a really special player this year. So I think De La, Coach Justin Allenbaugh said he was unhappy about some things, but I think they're going to figure it out. Does it help that it's going to be against a Sarah team that's probably going to have a lot of momentum, but I do think in the trenches, there's still no other team in the Bay Area that's better than De La Salle.
We'll get to those picks in a minute, but there is a computer that's still giving no respect to Sarah. We'll find out if Nathan's giving them a little more respect later on in the show. Joseph Dykes, thank you for joining us from the Oakland office of the Bay Area News Group. And Joseph, week 2, what are you most looking forward to?
You know, I'm really looking forward to, other than De La Salle Sarah, as we all are, Wilcox Archbishop Mitty is a game that I have circled. Wilcox got routed by Valley Christian, and then Mitty got routed by Acalanes. So these are two teams that you would predict would have pretty good seasons this year, and we're going to see which one is able to bounce back in non-league. I don't think either one of these teams wants to start 0-2 in non-league, though, considering they play in the 2 best leagues in the South Bay. And St. Francis-McClymonds is another one. I mean, 2 teams that got blown out in week 1. Which one's going to respond in week 2?
Mike Lefkow, before we get to the picks, week 2 coming up, there's some interesting matchups out there. What are you looking forward to as the season moves into the second week?
Well, I think one game to look forward to is San Ramon Valley at Soquel. I think that's going to be a tough game for San Ramon Valley because they have to go down there and play. Soquel has a pretty good team. I think that'll be a good test for San Ramon. Another game I'm looking forward to is Windsor and Hayward. Hayward showed me a lot last week with that victory over Moreau Catholic. I think they're explosive. I think they've got a good team, and I think they're well coached. And the one thing I think Cal Preps needs to do is start improving some of their picks.
HS ratings. They changed their name.
HS ratings. Excuse me. I mean, I was looking at them this morning, and they're picking Piedmont Hills to beat Independence 56-0. And Independence did beat Cupertino last week. Jay Braun is the coach. He's a pretty good coach. And I mean, they're not going to, maybe they will beat them 56-0, but I think they need to start improving their picks a little bit.
Oh, by the way, one more thing I'm looking forward to this week is the big bone game between San Jose and Lincoln. The oldest, is it the oldest rivalry in the South Bay?
Oldest public schools. They're going to go at it. They used to play this game on Thanksgiving. It's now played early in the season, and as Joseph Dykes tells us, it's being moved back to San Jose City College because the crowds have been too large for the high schools, right?
Yes. Even though San Jose has lost 28 games in a row
To Lincoln.
They have not won since 1997. There's still a lot of excitement around that game, and so planning to be down there.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't think we have that on our list, but with Lincoln beating Willow Glen last week, I will predict that will continue. That was an impressive win for them last week. For
sure. Real quickly, before we get to the picks, Christian and Nathan, our main high school guys this fall, both went 10-6 on week 1. I went 9-7. Mike Lefkow bringing up the rear at 7-9. Joseph's going to be our guest picker this week. Yeah. And let's move on to the picks, starting with a Thursday night game, unless this gets changed somehow. But we've got Palo Alto at home, coming off a heartbreaking loss last week to Mountain View. They're going to be playing Burlingame, which is also 0-1. HSratings.com predicts a very tight one, 34-31 for Burlingame. I will start with our guest, Joseph Dykes. Who you taking?
I think home field advantage is going to be really important in this one. I'm taking Pally. They put up 44 points on Mountain View last week. I mean, they're going to score points. I think Pally wins this one.
Christian?
Yeah, I wrestled with this one. I think anyone who's watched the show regularly knows I have some fondness for the computer. It helped me out a lot last year, winning the picks title. I would have leaned Palo Alto in this game, and I know like last year Palo Alto was in the D3 bracket for CCS, and Burlingame I saw them in the D4 championship. But yeah, I think I got to go with Burlingame. I don't know why. I don't know why Burlingame's favored. I don't know what the magic sauce is, and obviously it's predicted to be close, but I think I got to lean Burlingame on this one.
Nathan?
Give me Pally. I like a bounce back for the Vikings in this game.
All right. And Mike Lefkow?
I'm going to go with Palo Alto. Again, the home field advantage is the deciding factor for me.
And I'm going with Pally too. So everybody's going with Pally except the computer and Christian. Game 2 on the list. This is a Friday game. Branham at Willow Glen. At least it's Friday as of now. Sometimes these things get changed to Thursday or Saturday, but right now on the schedule, it's down for Friday. Branham at Willow Glen. I'm going Branham. Computer's taking Branham 42-22. Mike Lefkow, who you got?
I'm going with Branham.
Joseph?
I'm going with Branham as well.
Christian?
Yeah, I will use this as a quick opportunity to agree with what Lefty said. Some of these margins that the computer is projecting, I'm not sure I see this as a 20-point game, but I do think Branham is going to win. I think Lincoln beating Willow Glen was more about the strength of Lincoln than relative weakness of Willow Glen, but I do think Branham will win this game.
Nathan?
Give me the big B's. Give me Branham.
Everybody's going Branham. All right. Game 3 on the list, Campo at Northgate. Couple of schools kind of close to one another. Lefty, who you got?
Oh, I'm going to go with Campo window on this one.
Computer says Campo by 21, 35-14. I'm going Campo. Nathan?
Northgate was a really good story last year, but I think Campo is very much improved, and I'm going to take Campo in this one.
Christian, you going Campo?
Yeah, I'm going to repeat what I said last week. I think Campo is just kind of in a different tier of teams than Northgate is, much like Granada was. So I'm going with Campo again.
Joseph?
Campo.
All right. This next one, Clayton Valley coming off a pretty rough loss last week. They're going to be at home to play College Park. I've got Clayton. Computer's got Clayton big, 38-14. Lefty?
I'm going to go with Clayton. I don't think it'll be 38-14, but I think Clayton wins.
Nathan?
Yeah, I think it's going to be closer than people think, but I'm going to go with Clayton.
Christian?
Yeah, I don't envy College Park. I think Clayton Valley is going to be a pretty good team this year, and I think this is going to be the week they start to show it. So I'm going with Clayton.
Joseph?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Clayton Valley Charter as well.
Clean sweep for the Ugly Eagles. Next one on the list. This is a game in San Jose. These two schools are rivals. Independence at Piedmont Hills. As Lefty said earlier in the show, the high school ratings.com computer does not like Independence, apparently. It says 56-0 for Piedmont Hills. Joseph, is it going to be 56-0?
I have a hard time believing that. But I do think Piedmont Hills, I mean, they've got more talent.
All right.
I'll say they beat them 28-7. How about that?
There you go. Christian.
Yeah,
What do you
knowing Kelly King Jr., very nice guy. I'm pretty sure he would not let it get to 56-0, but I think Piedmont Hills definitely the stronger team playing at home. They will definitely win this game.
Nathan?
Yeah, I got Piedmont Hills. I think they just have more athletes on the field. So, yeah, give me the Pirates.
All right, I got Piedmont Hills. Lefty, did we already say you? Who do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go with Piedmont Hills. I just don't think it's going to be 56-0.
Yeah.
Okay, this next one, I believe Nathan is going to be covering this game. Is Friday night in Brentwood, where Los Gatos, coming off that heartbreaking loss last week to SoCal, 42-40, going to be making the trip. This has become a traditional game. Apparently, they think this might be the third year in a row they've played, maybe even more. So, Liberty is at 1-0. I'm going with Los Gatos to bounce back to get the W. Computer says Los Gatos 31-22. Mike Lefkow, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Los Gatos. I think they're a little better than Liberty.
Nathan?
Just real quick, I mean, Los Gatos to Brentwood might be the farthest trip for our coverage area. But I'm going with Liberty. I like they beat Frontier Bakersfield that won a state championship last week. They beat them, so I'm going to go with Liberty.
Christian?
Yeah, I'll echo what I said about Lincoln and Willow Glen. I think Los Gatos losing to SoCal was more about SoCal's relative strength, not any particular weakness of Los Gatos. But I think this is going to be the week that we find out whether or not that's true. And I think it is. So I'm going with Los Gatos.
And Joseph?
I'm disappointed that Nathan picked Liberty because I wanted to do the classic Joseph 1, everyone else 4 selection. I think Liberty, home field advantage is going to be a thing. And that Frontier Bakersfield team that I saw last year in the state championship game, they were athletic. I mean, they looked like they could have been playing in a higher division of football than where they were. So that's a good win. I think the Lions got it.
You're taking Liberty. This next one also in the East Bay, but it's a crossover game between the Peninsula and an East Bay school. Got Acalanes at home trying to make it 2-0 against CCS teams after beating Midi last week. They're going to be playing MA, which got hammered at the former Capital Christian. I believe it's now called Destiny. What's it called, Nathan?
Destiny Christian, right?
Academy.
Destiny Christian Academy. There you go. Nathan, does MA bounce back in this one?
No, I think Acalanes. I'm going with the big bad Dons here. I think their offense is very good this year. So give me Acalanes.
Christian?
Yeah, this is kind of some crazy transitive property gymnastics, but I remember what Midi did to MA last year, and I remember what Acalanes did to Midi last week. So I think Acalanes is going to win this game.
And Joseph?
Yeah, I think this is Don's going to get this one pretty easily. They're playing in honor, I guess, in memory of the late Amin Naruzi, the kid who tragically passed away in April from injuries in a swimming accident. They're dedicating the season to him, so I think they got it.
All right.
Joseph, you got the right color shirt on for Acalanes.
Yeah, my NBA Summer League shirt.
There you go. I'm also taking Acalanes. Computer says Acalanes 35-13, and Mike Lefkow, who you got?
Yeah, I'm going with Acalanes as well.
All right. I put this one on on the list. Prospect 0-1 at El Camino 0-1. Nathan, who you got? Is Prospect going to pull off the road win?
No, I got El Camino on this one. Give me the Colts.
All right. Christian, who you got?
Yeah, I believe I picked El Camino second in the PAL Lake, and I think they're going to be a contender this year. So I think they're definitely going to pick this one up at home.
Joseph?
You know what? I'm going with Prospect, but I mean El Camino playing against some pretty good football. That's what them and South San Francisco are both pretty decent teams. I guess the South City has some pretty good football down there.
There you go. I'm also going with Prospect to get the W. Computer says El Camino 31-21. Mike Lefkow, who you got?
No, I'm going to go with El Camino to win this one.
All right. This next one is in Oakland, where St. Francis is going to travel from Mountain View up to Oakland to play. They're going to go to the Mac House to play McClymonds. Both teams coming off tough Week 1 losses, with Mac losing to Reardon and St. Francis falling to Cathedral Catholic. Joseph, is Mac going to get it done against the Lancers?
I think so. I think they will. Playing at home is a big advantage for them. And their offense looks pretty decent with Burrell Staples and all the weapons they have. The running game wasn't actually that great, but I think Mac's going to get a win here.
Christian?
Yeah, Joseph, I'm glad you – oh, did I cut you off, Darren? My bad.
No worries. Who you got?
Yeah, I'm glad Joseph said that because I was a little worried about what McClymonds could bring to the table as far as running. But I think if they don't have much of a rushing attack, I know what Burrell Staples presents, but I think St. Francis, like they did last year, will be able to control the game with the run game, despite they had some troubles running the ball last week against Cathedral Catholic, but I think they will get that righted this week.
So you're taking St. Francis.
Yes,
Nathan, who you got?
Yeah, this is a classic game of town business, and I'm going to take McClymonds.
Ooh, I'm going Lancers, so I'm taking St. Francis. Mike Lefkow, who you got?
I'm going to go with St. Francis. I think they're a little bit too deep for McClymonds.
And I'm going to go, I already said I'm going St. Francis. The computer's going St. Francis by 3 touchdowns.
I don't see that.
Me neither.
I don't see that. I see a win, obviously, but
Yeah, well, I mean, St. Francis, the way they will attack the game, I think, is to try to shorten it like they did last year and lean on McClymonds with their limited depth. So I don't think it's going to be a 3-touchdown game.
As Mike Lefkow mentioned earlier in the show, this could be one of the games of the weekend, where San Ramon Valley, the Wolves, are going to be traveling from Danville over to the coast, to the Santa Cruz coast area to play SoCal. Both teams won in Week 1. San Ramon Valley beat El Cerrito narrowly, though, while SoCal got the road win over Los Gatos in a thriller. This should be a great game. I think they played last year. From what I remember, wasn't it close for a while, or was it close till the end?
I think it was close.
Okay, and that was in Danville last year. This time is in SoCal. I'm going with SoCal. I'm a believer in that quarterback who had a game for the ages against Los Gatos. Computer says not so fast. It's going San Ramon by 11, 28-17. Mike Lefkow, who you got?
I'm going to go with SoCal. I think the home field advantage will make the difference in this game.
Christian, you agree?
Yeah, I don't feel great about it, but I'm going with SRV. I know SoCal looked really good against Los Gatos, but you guys keep telling me that SRV is one of those programs that just rolls it over year by year. So we'll see if this week they start to show that and continue to build on what they did against El Cerrito. So I'm going with SRV.
Nathan.
I'll go with SoCal. I think they're a sneaky good CCS contender this year. So I'm going to go with the Santa Cruz team.
They were open division last year, state champions 2 years ago.
Okay.
Joseph.
Yeah, I'm going with SoCal. I mean, SRV, they're always going to be good, but I mean, it went down to the wire, right, against El Cerrito. And El Cerrito, I look everywhere around the Bay Area. It seems like they got former El Cerrito kids who, transferred to other schools. And for El Cerrito still to give SRV a game like that makes me think, maybe this is going to be a little bit of a down year for San Ramon Valley, perhaps.
Next game on the list, Wilcox going to play Midi. I believe this is at Foothill College. I haven't confirmed that, but I'm pretty sure it's at Foothill College. Both teams, as noted earlier, coming off tough losses. Christian, who you got?
Yeah, I'm going with Wilcox. I like them here to bounce back. I think, after dealing with a 31-point loss, that's not something that program has to deal with that often. And I think they're going to be motivated to show that they can still beat WCal teams with this iteration of their team. So I'm going with Wilcox.
Remember, it was 6-3 at halftime last week. It was 5 turnovers that turned into 35 third-quarter points that did them in. So hold on to the ball, and maybe good things will happen. Joseph, who you got?
I'm going with Wilcox. I asked Danny Sullivan, the midi coach, after the game, okay, what's the key to next week? And he looked at me and just said, stop the beer. That was the entire stop the beer. So they know what they got to do, but I still think Wilcox wins it.
Nathan?
Yeah, I think Wilcox gets a bounce back win. I think they're probably going to come out firing in this game. So give me Wilcox.
I got Wilcox. Lefty, who you got?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Wilcox as well.
Okay, and the computer says Wilcox, but close, 27-22. Another Friday game. We talked about this a little earlier. Windsor, good team from the North Bay, traveling to Hayward, which Hayward got the big win last week over the Catholic school in Hayward, Moreau Catholic. Who picked that one? Who picked Hayward to win that one?
I did. I did.
That I don't think it was. Yeah, I think it was Nathan who got that big W.
I heard
Shout
it from
out,
Moreau too.
Tip of the cap.
Yeah.
I don't think they're getting it done this week. I'm taking Windsor. Computer says Windsor big, 41-14. Nathan, hey, we're going to make it 2 in a row.
Yeah, give me the haystack. Give me Hayward. I think they're going to win this one close with that explosive rushing attack.
Christian.
Yeah, I think this week we'll see just how good Hayward is. I mean, beating Moreau definitely makes a statement, especially the way they did it by 3 touchdowns, which made me a little skeptical. But I think I got to lean with Windsor. I don't have a great feel on their relative strength, but I think they're probably the team to beat. But I could see Hayward pulling it off again. I really could.
So you're taking Windsor.
Yes, I am.
All right. Joseph, who you got?
Yeah, I'm going to ride the wave. Give me Hayward.
All right. And Mike Lefkow, who you got?
I like this Hayward team. I think they've got a lot of explosive players. I think they're well coached, and I think they're going to pull off the upset.
All right.
Do we know if Lamont McDonald is playing for Hayward, or is he having to sit out?
I'm not sure, but I do know that he announced that he did transfer to Hayward the other week. So, yeah.
All right. And like I said, the computer says 41-14 for Windsor. We have 3 more games to go. They're all big. Vanden 2-0, traveling to Dublin 1-0. Dublin got a very impressive win over Berkeley last week. So Napoleon Kaufman in year 2 with the program seems to have the Gales pointed in the right direction. Unfortunately, this week against a really strong Vanden team, I don't think they get it done. I'm taking Vanden. Computer says Vanden 28-3. Mike Lefkow, do you think Napoleon gets it done in week 2?
No, I think this is going to be an awfully tough game for Dublin. I'm going to pick Vanden. It might be a close game, but I think Vanden wins.
Nathan?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Vanden. I mean, if Dublin could pull this one off, I'd be on the train for the rest of the year, but I'm going to go with Vanden.
Christian?
Yeah, unfortunately for Dublin, I think this might be Napoleon Kaufman's Waterloo. I think Vanden is a little too strong, so I'm going with Vanden this time.
Joseph?
Yeah, I've got Vanden winning too. That was a pretty shocking score though last week. I remember refreshing Max Preps quite literally to see if it was a glitch or not.
And it was not. All right, 2 Saturday games to wrap this Pick'em show up. Marquee teams all ranked high, except the team that's not in our coverage area. But we'll start off with Pittsburgh at 1-0. Got off to a great start last week against Granite Bay, and then had to hold on to win 42-36. And be traveling to Bishop Montague, which comes into this game at 1-2. Nathan, do the Pirates get it done?
Yeah, I got Pittsburgh. I don't think this game was particularly close last year from what I remember, so I think Pittsburgh's going to get to a 2-0 start.
Christian?
Yeah, Bishop Montague, I think, is a strong team in Nevada. If we did Nevada rankings, I'm sure they'd be in there somewhere, but we don't. And Pittsburgh is pretty good. They're pretty high up in our rankings, and I think they're going to take care of business this week.
Joseph?
Yeah, I'm going with Pittsburgh. They're still as formidable as ever.
I'm going Pittsburgh. Computer says Pittsburgh 41-27. And Mike Lefkow, you going with Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Pitt. You know, Bishop Montague is quarterbacked by Brandon. I think it's Brandon Mann, the kid who started at Lee and then transferred to St. Ignatius and now is up there.
Oh, man, that kid has seen a lot.
Well, I think he went to Sarah. I think he wanted to go to Sarah, too. I heard that they wanted him to play defensive back, and he didn't want it, so he didn't. And I don't know if he ever enrolled at Sarah. But, yeah, they were looking for the ideal football situation.
Nice segue into the last game of the Pick'em show, where De La Salle at 1-0, going to be traveling to Sarah at 0-1. As I pointed out earlier in the show, the last time De La Salle visited San Mateo to play Sarah, it was a 28-0 Sarah victory. I'm sure De La Salle has not forgotten about that, although they did get a win at De La last year over Sarah. The computer says Sarah has no chance, taking De La Salle 35-3. I don't think it's going to be 35-3. I think it's going to be tight. Sarah, as I pointed out on X last week, is one of the tougher places to play in the Bay Area on Saturday afternoons. But I think De La Salle gets it done to go to 2-0, although I expect Sarah to be in the game throughout. Nathan, last week you gave Sarah no respect, saying that they were going to be in a running clock situation in the third quarter. When I checked, it was 42-42 with about 2 minutes to go. So that did not happen. Is De La Salle going to running clock Sarah?
Well, Sarah, maybe my words. They looked very impressive. I thought the running game, I mean, obviously they had the big passing plays. I was following along, and man, I was really impressed. I think Sarah's going to be a legit contender this year. And with all that said, give me the big green machine. I would take De La Salle. Not running clock, but I do think comfortably. I think that the size up front is going to be the difference. So give me De La Salle.
Christian, you saw Sarah you saw De La Salle in a scrimmage 2 weeks ago. You saw Sarah last week on the field for real. What do you think?
Yeah, it was interesting, Nathan, to me that you said you thought De La Salle had the size advantage. I'm not so sure I agree with that. I think it's pretty close, and I might lean Sarah at some positions, but I am going to go with De La Salle. I just think they have a little bit more of an ace in the hole as far as their running backs and what they can do on the ground. I think, Braden Knight, having played a few years, Caleb Bandel had made some good throws for Sarah last week, their new quarterback. But I think Braden Knight, with that experience, gives them a little more in the vertical passing game. So I'm going with De La Salle.
Joseph, does Patrick Walsh get it done against his alma mater?
You know what? It wouldn't be a pick'em show without me picking against De La Salle. So honestly, it comes down to they're playing at home. Sarah's playing at home, and I think that's actually gonna be a factor. The way that they played Folsom, extremely impressive. De La Salle. Now, Lakeland is a super talented team, ton of recruits and everything, or ton of college recruits, I should say. But I don't know. I just feel like, if there's a coach in the Bay Area that can take on De La Salle and come out with a win. Also, doesn't Sarah have a pretty good kicker this year?
They have a great kicker.
53-yarder. Remember,
say,
Joseph, you texted me about guys who have 60-yard range. Are you kidding me? This guy has 60-yard range.
This guy might have 60-yard range.
It would have been good from 63.
Easily.
They're gonna win. Sarah's gonna win 20-17. There's gonna be a late field goal. There, made my prediction.
All right, Mike Lefkow, who do you got?
I'm going to go with De La Salle. I don't think it'll be 35-3. I don't think Patrick wants to lose to his alma mater by that kind of score. But I think De La Salle probably is a little bit better team. Sarah, I think, is a team to look out for next year, but this year is De La Salle.
All right, I am also taking De La Salle. So everybody's taking De La Salle except Joseph, who's saying the Padres will win 20-17. Closing thoughts, anyone?
I mean, I've got some takes. I'll get a fire off real quick. One, I thought that Cardinal Newman was going to be this crazy good team, and then that was the most shocking score of the whole Friday night. It seemed like them losing to Manteca like they did. Congrats to Bellarmine for snapping their losing streak. Christian Babcock was there. Looked like it was a really fun atmosphere. And then lastly, Live Oak is playing Sabedra, and I guess a big rivalry game down Morgan Hill. I had someone text me and say that was going to be, they moved it to Saturday afternoon just because there's going to be so many people there. So those are my takes.
Christian, real quick, got a quick
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah, that's great to hear. I'll build on what Joseph said. Being out at Bellarmine was great. The game was a bit of an offensive struggle, 6-0, but it just highlighted the importance of having a good kicker in high school. And I'm glad to hear they're having a great atmosphere down in Morgan Hill. I was really impressed both at Bellarmine and at Serra with the atmospheres. So it was great to get out there, see everyone, and see some great football.
Nathan, real quick.
Yeah, I'll shout out to Monte Vista out of the South Bay. I saw they had 3 different runners have over 100 yards, and one had 200 yards. So really potent rushing attack down there at the in Cupertino, I believe is where it's at.
It is a Cupertino, Monte Vista with an A, not an E. But they got the win, I believe, last week.
Mm-hmm.
So nice start for them. Mike Lefkow, real quick.
Oh, a quick shout out to American High in Fremont. They beat James Lick by, what was it, 50-something to nothing, I think it was. And, we found out last week that American is an academic powerhouse. And now they came out and played very well on football, too. So, hey, way to go, American.
All right. And my parting shot is don't believe the computer. That I think that was proven wrong last week. So
I want to see Patrick Walsh versus the computer, the grudge match. That's what I want to see.
I would take Patrick. And a shout out to Patrick's son. He got banged up there at the end of the game, but the 80-yard, was that an 80-yard catch, Christian?
Yes. I mean, it was a catch and run. It was a screen, but yes, very impressive. He's got some wheels on him. So
there you go. Just like his dad. That's a wrap. Check us out, mercurynews.com, eastbaytimes.com. Make sure to sign up for that digital subscription. I believe there's it was a Labor Day sale, but hopefully it's still going on. I think it was $2 or $6 for 2 years.
that sounds right. Yeah.
So anyhow, thanks for watching, everyone.